Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Pocket Change Sales Report. I guess this is the third episode of such a report, and I'm glad to say that it's been going off really well. Okay, the response received by viewers like you have been absolutely amazing. I want to thank you guys for supporting me as I do these reports every week. So, what exactly is the Pocket Change Sales Report? Well, if you're kind of curious about how much a certain coin is, that you've pulled out of your pocket change, or perhaps you're an avid roll hunter, you want to know more about some of the coins that exist out there that exhibit some sort of value. Keep in mind, the actual theme for this video is coins that appear damaged, but in reality are really very valuable errors and varieties. Okay, we're going to look at a number of those on this list, but this is going to be your go-to reference. I do it once a week. Generally, it's going to fall like on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, as always. And what I do is I pull up the last 7 days of sales on eBay. And I go ahead and I scrub through it. I take a look at some of the coins that are most notable. Okay, and we're going to talk about not only the stuff that makes you quite a bit more money, but also some of the coins that are worth like maybe $3, $4, $5. Those are important because the more of those that you find, all right, all the value, all the money stacks up at the end, okay? Unless you're keeping it for yourself, which is also important, especially if you are really into the coin collecting scene. So, before we get started, I gotta do my YouTube thing as always, and you hear this once before, not only with myself, but everyone else. Like, share, and subscribe, okay? Show your boy Blue Ridge a little bit of support, as you guys always do. I'm not saying I need the most amount of support, but you guys have been phenomenal. But if this is your first time here, welcome. Hopefully you get a few takeaways from this video. It should be really awesome. We are going to go ahead and dive in to the number one coin on the list today, and it is going to be this 1941 Lincoln Wheat Cent. Now, on its face, the coin doesn't look so hot, okay? The coin is obviously circulated over time. It's not some gem, brilliant, uncirculated coin that some people say you need in order to, you know, enhance the value of such a piece. No. This one actually is a minor error. As you can tell on the obverse of the coin where Lincoln is, you'll see a major obverse lamination error, okay? In my point of view, it's more on the minor side, but based off of the actual titling of this listing on eBay, okay, it's been termed as a major obverse lamination. But this coin right here sold January 17th of this year for $9.50. Crazy that something like this would sell for close to $10. Again, all the prices on the list is also going to incorporate some sort of shipping costs involved too, so it's a total out the door price. But you're going to have to take a look and keep an eye, be mindful of these coins where you have like the metal flaking off of it, okay, not by damage of course, but because of the impurities of these planchets before they're even struck, all right, will cause, you know, annealing errors, all right, which is what you're going to get with these coins. Not only this, but nickels, you're going to see that in like buffalo nickels. Even Lincoln cents that go into the 60s and 70s, you come across laminations every so often. So we have that one right there. Let's go ahead and jump into the next coin on the list. And this is a repunched mint mark. This is another one of the, you know, the blanket varieties that a lot of people look for, okay? As you guys know, when these coins are produced pre-1990, the U.S. Mint, with a long metal shaft, a little steel punch, with a letter at the end, they'll actually hand punch the mint mark into every single die, all right? So when they punch the first initial letter and it's kind of off, you know, it's really up to that engraver to repunch the letter if they so desire. So, you know, if it's offset a little bit from the original punch, sometimes you get these kind of, you know, doubling effects on just the mint mark. This one right here is a 1960 D over D. This one is termed as RPM number 2. Okay, it's a nice one. All right, as you can tell, there's multiple kind of like repunches on here. This one is kind of a brilliant uncirculated piece. There's a few spots and stuff like that. But all through it, it's sold for $17.95. A pretty good sale for a coin that can still be found in change pretty regularly. I think what people like to do with these is pull them out of brilliant uncirculated rolls that could generally be had for around $5 to $8, okay, depending on the date. You get into the older stuff, they're quite a bit more. But for this particular date, because 1960 Denvers exhibit just dozens of different varieties, all right, this is a very hot date to look for. Keep an eye out for something like this. All right, the next one we have here, how about something that's a little bit new? We got a little bit of Shield action on the list, and it's a 2015 P Lincoln Shield scent. Now this one right here is the proven commodity out of this particular date, and this is the WDDO 006. Okay, this is the big one out of the bunch. This is a Wexler best of variety for 2015. As you can see, you have some pretty incredible spread in Liberty and in especially the date. I actually have never found one of these, but I've been gifted one of these by a fan on coincommunity.com, and I am just happy to be able to own one of these. They are still out there, okay? But you know, being that it's a Philadelphia minted example, a lot of these are going to be east of the Mississippi. That's where you're going to see a lot of these Philadelphia minted coins. And this is one right here that you absolutely need to keep an eye out for. They're very neat. They're very valuable too. Now this example here, while not in the best of shape, sold for $7.75 on the 17th. Okay, we have a number of coins that sold just a day ago. It's pretty crazy. But this is one right here for all you Shield scent fanatics that you absolutely need to keep an eye out for. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into the first different denomination of the day. And what we have here is a 2005 P. This is a Philadelphia minted quarter. It's the West Virginia state quarter. This one right here exhibits a reverse cud. Okay, you have a really sizable die break at the 4 o'clock position. You can see that big old blob of metal. Again, when these coins are being produced, it would be short-sighted to think that the dies can just continuously run without any sort of wear and tear on them. So as these dies continuously produce these quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies, okay, there's going to be little stress fractures, okay, which, you know, come out as die cracks on the actual coin. There's going to be pieces of metal that actually break off, all right, off the die, especially toward the edge where the rim is. That's where you have a cud. Okay, it's not a cud anywhere else on the coin. It's maybe a die chip or something. But this is a really substantial error that a lot of people look for, and they scoop them up. This one sold for $20 on the 17th. Okay, pretty nice find. Nice little $20 bill in your pocket. Keep an eye out for these coins, not just in quarters. All right, so finding bicentennial quarters is neat. All right, yes, they were minted into oblivion. There's a lot of them available. But because of the design, it is truly one of the modern kind of like marquee designs that you're ever going to find in pocket change. Even usurping a lot of the state quarters and national park quarters that we see on the scene today, these are found pretty regularly out there. But what makes it so neat is finding one with an actual mint error on them. All right, you have a popular design, you have a mint error, you put them both together, you have a coin that people really want, okay, error collectors especially. So this example right here is a Philadelphia minted bicentennial quarter. Okay, it exhibits a smallish kind of rim clip, close to the 6 o'clock position on the obverse of the coin. And it sold for $8. Quick little $8 bill. And, excuse me. And again, people want coins like this. It doesn't matter how minor they are. This is a very minor rim clip, ladies and gentlemen. And even coins that exhibit this smallish of an error, okay, still being scooped up for $5 to $10. I would challenge you to keep an eye out for more coins that look like this. Also look for some with like misaligned dies and, you know, little die chips and die breaks, things of that nature on this particular series. Okay, this one year only release by the US Mint is going to continuously become more and more popular as we come up to the next 50-year anniversary. Okay, we're coming up close. We're only 5 years away, and they are going to do something pretty neat. So this will put a little bit more spotlight on other 1976 bicentennial quarters. Should be pretty neat. All right, as always, I like to discuss everything else other than coins. How about paper money? Okay, if there's any one thing that we carry more of on a daily basis, it's going to be some of that green in our wallets and in our purses. Okay, we have dollar bills, fives, tens, 20s, like we normally do. Okay, we go and buy that Starbucks coffee, or we go to the store and grocery shop and do other things. Okay, we always like to spend money unless you're totally into like digital payment services and using the debit card. People carry more cash than they do actual change. All right. Now, in this case here, we have a 2013 series $1 bill. All right, something you're going to notice on the reverse of the bill, you're going to see this image come up here momentarily. The front looks normal. Okay, you have the treasury seal, you have the serial number schematic on there, all laid out perfectly. It looks normal. You flip it over on the reverse, and what we have here is we have a wet ink transfer. It's almost like an offset transfer on the reverse. So you have a front to back offset transfer of just the third print. Okay, so you see the district seal, and you also see the district numbers, but you don't see any of the serial numbers on this particular variety. This is a legitimate error. Okay, don't think otherwise. Okay, you could really tell if someone had actually scribbled in all these features to give it the appearance of an offset, but there's just something about seeing an actual realistic one on screen or in person that you know exactly what it is. And the reason why this is a wet ink transfer rather than the overprint on the reverse of the note is that the numbers are backwards. Everything is backwards, okay, which indicates a wet ink transfer from one note to another. Now this note right here, this $1 bill, this person made 85 times their money. They sold it for $85 on the 17th. Really cool error, okay? And I've seen actually 3 or 4 of these pop out by various astute collectors here in the last couple weeks. So they are out there for the picking. This is a relatively recent example in a 2013 series note. All right, keep an eye out for these as well. Pretty nice find. All right, coming up next, okay, we have another one of those coins that exhibits that kind of blob of metal. Okay, it's a 1980 Lincoln cent. On the obverse, you could see the large cud that's covering a little bit of the motto. Around 11, 12 o'clock position on the coin. Again, this coin was struck with worn dies, and you had a little piece of the die fall off, and then that, in turn, transferred into a void onto the coin that looks like a blob. All right, some would say, well, maybe someone added the metal on there. No, they didn't. One thing you're going to keep an eye out for is when you flip the coin over to see the reverse, you're going to see a weakness in the strike right where that blob is on the obverse. All right, so the opposite side of the coin in that same area, you're going to see a weakness. Okay, that's going to be one of your telltale signs. Keep an eye out for it. You know what to look for. Pretty neat coin. This one sold for $31.70. A lot of value associated with these cud die breaks, and people love them. They want to, it's like Pokemon, they want to collect them all. Okay, you've heard me reference that analogy before, and it couldn't hold any more truer than in this coin right here. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the next one here, and we have of course, we got to talk about 1972 double die obverse number 1. Okay, this is the king of kings when it comes to the 1972 double dies, as you guys know. There's about a dozen of various double dies that exist for this date and mint mark. This one right here is a nice, genuine, raw example, kind of like that low-end mint state 62-ish. It's kind of hard to say if the toning on here is legit or if the coin has been cleaned. But this is a raw example that sold for $305 on January 17th. Okay, a really nice example, and you find one that's like bam, you just made yourself a few C notes in the process. You couldn't ask for anything more. This is a really good flip coin if you found it in change. Again, you don't have to grade any of these coins. They sell just based on their status as being a genuine variety or error. Keep an eye out for this one as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into another quarter here. And what we have is a 2015 P Homestead quarter, okay? And this one right here is the one that garnered a lot of attention upon its release because of this variety that you see here. And what we have is a doubled pump handle variety. This is a double die reverse. Okay, this is the WDDR number 4, the double pump handle. Of course, there are many variants of a double die for 2015 Homestead quarters. This is the major one right here. Okay, some of them you'll see kind of like a different pump handle doubling. You'll see some of those window panes doubled. You'll see an extra line here and there. And they're all valuable in its own right, but this one right here is the Chase one. This one sold for $28.50 a couple days ago on the 16th. Okay, pretty neat coin for all you quarter searchers. This one should be close to the top of your list. All right, so the next one that we have here is going to be a 2000p. Sorry, I'm writing down some notes here. 2000p South Carolina State Quarter. Okay, this one right here exhibits a little bit of an off-center action, 5%. This one, no doubt about it, can be found in pocket change. I found a few 5 to 7% off-centered coins. As you can tell, this is not a misaligned die because you have the off-center on both sides of the coin rather than just the obverse. This one right here is sold for 10 smackaroonies, $10 on the 16th. Again, this is one of those minor sales. If you come across, like, 3 or 4 error coins in a box of coin, all right, it's beginning to look very promising in terms of making a few dollars here and there. Again, the big idea is we're not going to get rich off of this, okay, unless you found a 69S double die, some of those really big time chase pieces. These coins are all more along the lines of the very approachable, very findable category. And who doesn't like making an extra like $20 here and there, right? That's what it's all about. And it's fun. It's fun when it's like that because the next big find is just around the corner. So keep an eye out for coins that look like this. Pretty neat. All right, so the next one that we have here is some more paper money, more currency. And it's a 2004 A series $20 Federal Reserve note bill. Who hasn't spent a multitude of these? I know I've had my fair share of them over the years. And this particular example is missing a very key design element. And it's going to be that green treasury seal that's right behind the word 20. Pretty crazy. These notes do exist on a number of occasions where the green treasury seal is indeed missing. And that is simply a BEP error. It's pretty crazy. And they're very valuable. This one right here sold for $103. The best part is this $20 bill has probably changed many hands over its lifetime. As you can see, it's got a lot of wear, a lot of folds, a lot of good old love and wrinkles on there. Pretty crazy. That sells for 5 times face value. Keep an eye out for notes that look like this. Pretty cool. And have I talked about bicentennial coins? Yeah, I talked about it once, but we're going to talk about it again with this one right here. We have a set of 2 1976 bicentennial candy half dollars. This time, each coin is off-center 10%. Nothing crazy, nothing like earth-shatteringly off-center. But you have 2 examples, and they kind of give off that mirrored effect because one off-center is just slightly offset in the opposite direction to another for each one of these. But we have a set of 2 coins that were sold as raw, not graded, for $381.06 on the 16th. All right, eBay is like a breeding pool of some of the neatest finds that you'll ever see, in addition to probably one of the best resources to flip your error and variety coins. Okay, keep in mind, every single coin I'm talking about on the list are true blue, genuine errors and varieties. All right, if it's generally not on the list, every time you see these market reports, then more than likely you probably have something else. Okay, and that's always up for discussion. We will try and identify what you have. All right, so we have that, and then we are a few coins away from going ahead and closing it out. But first of all, we have this no date Lincoln cent. This one right here is another fantastic CUD die break, right smack dab on the date. Anytime you have one of these CUD errors where it obliterates some pretty major design details, specifically like the date part of Liberty. There's even some that covers the word God. In God we trust. They call those godless coins. And then all of a sudden you have coins that are very sought after. People want them because of that. Okay, and this one here, again, no exception, sold for $44.99. This one did. And yeah, it came straight out of change. Look at the coin. It's very well circulated. All right. Definitely a very, very sought after error. Okay. Keep an eye out for these. They're worth some money. All right. So we got 2 coins away here. The next one that you see here is going to be a 1991 P Lincoln cent. This one right here looks like it's damaged, but it's not. Okay. There's a few things you're going to keep an eye out for with these double struck coins. This one right here was double struck. Okay, you had the first initial strike. The second strike is slightly off center by about 3%. But you could see the doubled strike very clearly in like 1 cent on the reverse. Okay, where the second strike happened. Okay, you could see a little bit of the metal, you know, kind of like folded up a little bit, so it's more of a cupping action. You don't have any damage on the rim. Which is cool. That's what you want to see, as opposed to one that's been kind of like doctored to look like it. But this one right here, okay, with clean pictures, absolutely clean pictures, that's going to be key. Sold for $130.49 on the 15th. Proving once again that coins like this truly make the search 10 times more fun, I would say, and definitely worth mentioning. So finally, we're going to talk it off with a coin that I've personally have pulled on a number of occasions, and some of you have too. Okay, but trying to discern one that has been chemically altered to one that is genuine can be a little bit of a, I don't know, kind of a mystery to some. Kind of maybe a little bit confusing, but we have a 1983 Lincoln cent. As you guys know, these are copper-coated zinc composition coins. And this one right here is missing the copper plating. Okay, and the one thing that you're going to notice is that on this example, which by the way is sold by the same seller as the previous coin on the list, that double struck 91, is that this one right here is going to have absolutely beautiful clean surfaces, whereas a chemically altered one will have pitting. It'll have kind of a granular surface on the zinc core part of it. So a coin that's been chemically altered to remove that copper plating will actually do some damage to that zinc inner core. Plus the strike will appear a little bit less desirable. Whereas this one right here has like clean, super clean surfaces. They will give out a nice silvery appearance upon the strike. Plus they will also have a nice luster, okay, like what this one does, kind of that muted luster that you see on every other coin that's like freshly struck. This one sold for $51.99 on the 15th. So what do you say? I challenge you guys to find some pretty neat stuff this weekend. I know coin roll hunting activities go on all week, but the big time of the week to do it is going to be on the weekends. Furthermore, if you haven't checked it out, the professor Ken Peavy has posted an article along with a bunch of other YouTubers regarding the brand new 2020 West Point coins. The nickel, which will be added into not select, but all of the proof, silver proof, and BU sets through the US Mint will be live here shortly, along with the first run of 2020 West Point quarters, in which they will feature a privy mark for the first time ever. I thought that was just Canada's thing, but apparently those will be coming out here in a few weeks. I guess February 6th is the date that I'm hearing. I'm talking about at the end of this video because that's generally going to be the extent of my kind of like conversation on these coins, because we know they're hot. I mean, who are we kidding? It's boosting coin collecting, and it's incredible. I'm glad that the US Mint is doing this, but keep an eye out for these coins. They're going to be coming up live here real soon. Better believe that PCGS will be running another bounty on those quarters, among a few other things that are going to be happening behind the scenes. So I want to thank you guys for joining in on the Pocket Change Sales Report for the week of January 17th, 2020. As always, Coinaholics, we are discovering together. Have a wonderful hunt weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.